Hey everyone, welcome to episode number 7 of our Pokemon Showdown Generation 1 Random Battles series. For those new to the channel, the series is pretty simple. I do random battles through Pokemon Showdown, which is a game free to play, free. And and I do Generation 1 battles. Completely random, meaning I do not select the teams, I do not select anything. My opponents don't select their teams, they don't select their Pokemon, they don't select the moves, nothing. It's all randomly generated. And yeah, it's pretty fun. This is number 7 so far. Really, the episodes aren't related to one another, so you don't need to watch the other ones to enjoy this one. It's not like the Nuzlocke, which, for the record, playlist in the description. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy this. If you do, be sure to follow me or subscribe to the channel. I could definitely use more subscribers. I'm at about 28 right now, and I'm looking to get to 30 as my short-term goal. Beyond that, if you do enjoy the video, hit a thumbs up. Give your thoughts via comments. It can be positive, negative, just general thoughts on whatever happens in the video, the Pokemon involved, whatever. And if you don't already, follow me on Twitter at HumanShield1991. It's a good way to stay up to date because sometimes YouTube doesn't give notifications, and I can give hints or downright explain future plans. I'll be doing Nuzlocks in the future on this channel, possibly other series with Showdown, so it's a good way to stay up to date on all that. Beyond that, this episode should be a fun one. We have a couple battles lined up because, surprise, surprise, we didn't necessarily. Well, you'll see. I don't want to spoil anything. This should be a fun episode, though. Definitely a fun one. We've been doing Generation 1, Generation 2, and Generation 3 series. And those are also in the description. I have a playlist link for every single one. This is the longest series thus far, but 2 is starting to get there, and 3 are only a couple in so far, but we'll have more. So let's get going. Alright. So now we just need to find them. It did take a little bit, so I had to cut a little bit out. A lot of times when I record these, I record them very early in the morning or late at night, depending on where you are. This one, I believe, was filmed around 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So there wasn't that many people online. It took a little longer to start a battle. Anyway, we start off with Kangaskhan and Porygon. Porygon's such a cool Pokemon, and I never get to use one. Never. Hopefully in a future Nuzlocke or something, I'll be able to get one. That would be a really cool starter, actually. I'm not sure what their starting moves are, so I might regret saying that, but I find it interesting anyway. With that said, he was definitely a pain in the butt in this game. As you can see, my Kangaskhan was no match early on. The paralysis not working in my favor. The body slam did big damage, but as you'll see in a second, it's just going to heal up again. I did get the crit that time, which was sweet. It's just, I don't know. I like Kangaskhan, but I find myself having a lot of trouble using it, especially in Generation 1. Whether it's in Showdown or whether it's in a Nuzlocke. Just something about it, it's lacking at a certain point. And I don't know. I don't think its stats are bad. I never looked too closely, but I don't think it has bad stats, but somewhere it lets me down. And it did here, too. So at this point, I did my usual routine of starting to check out what Pokemon I had, instead of doing that to begin with when I probably should have. So next I sent out Hitmonlee, who I really like. I actually prefer it to Hitmonchan. That's an unpopular take. I feel like it might be. I feel like Hitmonchan is considered more competitively viable. I might be wrong on that, but that's my perception anyway. Unfortunately, I did get hit again with the paralysis, and my damage just wasn't doing as much as I was thinking, but then the high jump kick just wiped it out, so that was nice. Next we had Venomoth, who did big damage with a Psychic. Obviously, I'm mostly just hoping to maybe get the paralysis. Didn't end up getting it, so at this point I knew I was gone no matter what. And Hitmonlee went down. Anyway, at this point I decided to send Dugtrio out. I don't know if I was playing my best game here, but I did think the Rock Slides were going to do a lot of damage. It did decent damage. Not as much as I was hoping, but it was a 2-co from where he was, so I'll take it. And their Spore, or the Powdered Mist, which was very nice. Now this is where I really messed up. I don't know why I kept Dugtrio in against a Squirtle. It was just I don't even know. I don't think I was paying enough attention. Like, you know how it is, sometimes you'll get distracted and you just do a move without really thinking about what you're doing. And I think that was the case of that right there. You would think Dugtrio might be able to hit harder than it did, but they're glass cannons, they're weak, so getting hit by a effective move, it was done for, without question. Anyway, next I sent out Kabutops, and we had a long wait. Our opponent was definitely taking their time at this stage, which is, again, a frustration, but it happens. I was able to hit up a Swords Dance, but the Hydro Pump did way more than I was expecting. I wasn't expecting nearly that much damage. I know I have the Rock type, but still. That's actually good to know, and I should have kept that in mind for my Nuzlocke, because my Meowth really could have helped against Kabutops. But that's a spoiler for those who haven't checked it out, so I'll definitely do that. Anyway, again, we were waiting for them. They were taking forever, but the Hyper Beam was able to take it out, which is nice. And there's a Hyper Beam loophole in Gen 1. If you knock an opponent out, you don't have to wait. So that's nice also. Now, at this point, I didn't know if I was going to outspeed it or not, so I just wanted to go for as much damage as I could. And I hit pretty good damage on it. It did take me out, but the damage was worth it. Also, keep in mind, Magneton is not Steel in Generation 1 because it wasn't a type yet. Next, I sent out Clefable, and Clefable has been a lot of trouble for me also in Gen 1. I didn't expect it to be, but it's quite tanky, and it can hit hard, so I guess it's a better Pokemon than I realized. Clefable and Wigglytuff kind of both fall into that category. Now, unfortunately, I did get paralyzed, but it's not the end of the world because I didn't consider Clefable necessarily a super fast Pokemon anyway. But the submission hit hard, and then I tried to put it to sleep. Thankfully, it worked, but I was at this low health and being paralyzed. I wasn't sure how much I could really do with it. Oh, that paralysis. It's so... I understand now. You know, I used to kind of laugh when I'd watch Nuzlockers or Battlers, and they'd get so angry for that paralysis and sleep. I would just kind of laugh at them. But now that when I'm in battle and it's getting intense, and I get paralyzed, and the hacks just seem to work against me over and over, I kind of see where the anger comes from now. Regardless, though, I'm still chipping away with Blizzard. I'm still trying to figure out the best thing I can do. Since I would take it out, thankfully, and it would leave just one Pokemon in Onyx. Now, at this stage, I was looking at my team, and the one Pokemon I did have was very weak to a Rock type. But on the flip side, it's just an Onyx. And Onyxes, as cool as they are, they're very... what's the word I want to say? Weak. They're very weak, unfortunately. So even with the quad effective move, it wasn't enough to take me out, and I was able to finish off with an Earthquake. Not a bad first battle at all. Not bad at all. So at this point, I did decide to do another battle, just because I didn't want the episode to be too short. So here we started off, and right away there was a type disadvantage. And after the lesson I learned with Squirtle, I definitely wasn't going to keep my Rapidash out, because that would be bad, bad news. I sent out Cloyster. Cloyster's another Pokemon that I like a lot, but I don't use very often. I think at later games, especially, they become more fun. But even in this gen, they seem like a pretty fun Pokemon. So yeah, I think it would be kind of cool to have a Cloyster in a Nuzlocke. Something I'll definitely have to consider. Anyway, they swapped out into a Starmie. Another cool Pokemon. Another Pokemon I don't use very often. So, you know, I'm just taking all these mental notes, hoping that maybe I'll be able to pick them up sometime. Oh, it's Mantis. Okay. Now, at this point, we were kind of doing a lot of trading back and forth, so at least we were able to scout each other's teams. The Spore was annoying. What I should have done is I should have swapped out, because if I was going to have one Pokemon take a Spore on my team and be asleep, it should have been this one, right? The most stackable, so to speak. I could just leave it in the back of the party, let it be sleep, because there's a sleep clause for these battles, which basically means only one Pokemon can be asleep or put to sleep on an opponent's team, right? So we can only use Spore successfully, on one Pokemon on my team, unless I wake up. Then it's back to business, or if I faint. So what I should have done is I should have swapped out. I didn't, but I was able to wake up just in time to die, of course. Oh well. Now, again, I was kind of scoping out what I wanted to go with. Rapidash obviously would take it right out, but I knew he would just swap in. So I figured, hey, I'll just attack. Went pretty well. I'm guessing they won't take any damage from swapping out. Can't really blame them for that. And then they sent that Starmie back out again, just to be a pain. Now, I was looking over my team because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and I ended up going with Kangaskhan again. The Thunderbolt didn't do too much, still did some decent damage, but didn't do too much. And my goal was hopefully just to take it out, but swap it to Wigglytuff. Hit a big body slam, did not get the paralysis, which is disappointing. I was really hoping to get the paralysis there. And then they hit me with a Thunder Wave, which was also frustrating, but at the same time, it's not like I was expecting to be a fast Pokemon, but it did ruin my counter. But now they knew counter was my plan, and then they hit a Blizzard. They were reading me pretty well at this point, I think. So I was whittling it down with the body slams, and then I hit a big Hyper Beam. I guess, I don't know how I went first there. I don't know if even Paralyzed there's a speed tie or what happened, but the Hyper Beam worked. I was able to knock him out, and that was a good Pokemon to eliminate. Wartortle came back out, and I didn't think I was going to outspeed this one, but I was going to try to do as much damage as I could, just in case. I did survive, but then I was paralyzed. I'd done Hyper Beam originally, then I switched to Body Slam, hoping for the paralysis. Either way, I didn't get either one, so it was kind of all in vain at that point. So again, I'm looking over my team, unsure who to use. I decided to send out my Alakazam because I know it can hit hard and it has an electric-type move, which is good for both Wartortle and Starmie. I mean, it's only a Thunder Wave, but that's still slowing anything down and chancing that they won't be able to move works in my favor. Of course, I got it too, but I was able to recover and get my health back. And then it was just about damage. That was my main thing now. Damage. I was surprised how little that did. I guess it makes sense Wartortle would have a pretty high special, especially when there's not the split in this gen, but I still was thinking I would do more. I mean, it's an Alakazam. But now I just wanted to make sure I healed. My hope was that I wouldn't get paralyzed, and of course, no surprise there. What happens? I got paralyzed. So Cloyster was back out, mostly because, well, for one, the fire type wouldn't be useful. And then I was trying to save Snorlax as kind of a surprise, just because it's a good tanky Pokemon that can take a lot, so. But then I sent Starmie back out, and we're back at practically square one. It hit me with a big Thunderbolt, did big damage. I was able to hit it hard, and I thought I was going to die, but I didn't. I was surprised. Obviously, I wasn't surviving this next hit, but still, I was pleasantly surprised with the damage I did. Snorlax was out now, and at this point, I just wanted to do big damage. I was scared about the recover, because Starmie, it's kind of bulky, but for whatever reason, he just, I don't know what he thought I was going to do, to be honest with you. But he switched out to Magmar, and I got it, and got the immediate paralysis, and then hit it with an Earthquake. That was awesome luck on my end. So Starmie came back out, and now I needed to be able to hit it hard. My goal, hopefully, was to paralyze it. That way, even with the recovers, I could still hopefully pull it off. It might be a lot of turns, but that was the hope. But then they ended up quitting. And then they instantly came back, so it must have been an accidental disconnect. It happens. Unfortunately, they did do the plan I was expecting them to do. They did hit Blizzard, which did a lot more damage than I was expecting. I hit another Body Slam, did not get the paralysis. I was really hoping I would there. It would have been perfect. Hit a big Hyper Beam thinking it would be it. It wasn't. That ended up being a bad move, but it's okay. They healed up, and I went for another Body Slam, again, hoping for the paralysis, because that's really what I needed. But the Surf got me. At this point, I thought maybe I would be able to take it out with a good crit, but instead I completely missed the Hyper Beam. The good news is that I didn't have to recharge, but I was so weak it was able to take me out. Lastly, I sent out Rapidash, and at this point, it was elementary. Even though he did do good damage, I didn't think I had a good chance of winning. Thankfully, somehow I was faster, so I was able to take Starmie out, which was nice. And this led to their last Pokemon, Graveler. Yeah, that didn't work out too well for me. I did get the paralysis, which was nice, but the earthquake instantly took me out, and I lost. So all in all, it went okay. Made some silly mistakes in both games. Nothing too major besides the Squirtle incident, but it happens. I'll take a 50-50, one win, one loss. It could be a lot worse than that. I don't know who the MVP of the game was on either team when it comes to Pokemon. Graveler obviously picked up a big win. I think it might have been that Starmie, honestly, just because it was so annoying to beat. It's not that it's particularly good. I mean, I think it is good, but in this case, it wasn't that it was particularly good in the sense that it kept knocking out my Pokemon, but it was a pain. It was just a pain. The heel stalling and everything like that, just, well, it's okay though. Again, one win, one loss, not the end of the world. But I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, please give a thumbs up. Leave some comments. It could be about strategies used. It could be about the teams. It can be what teams did you think were more balanced. Just because I won, I could have had the more balanced team, so you could say that. Or if I lost and had a less balanced team, or I won with a less balanced team, or I lost with a less, either way, let me know about what Pokemon you like in the video. Let me know what you think about Showdown, anything like that. Beyond that, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Subscribers mean a lot. Right now we're at 28. I'm trying so hard to get to 30. When you're this small, any subscriber is like you're watching your channel day to day, hoping for that tick up. And lastly, follow me on Twitter at HumanShield1991. If you don't already, it's a good way to stay up to date on everything that happens on the channel. So that should just about wrap things up. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.